Welcome to the show. Your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen, with another phenomenal podcast for you today. Today we got really special guests coming in on the show. Can you hear us, Rudy?
Oh yeah, I hear you loud and clear.
Gang, we just came off the water on Friday from the Bisbees, probably the most fish ever weighed in the tournament. And right now we have Rudy Morgan. I've known Rudy since he was a little baby. His father's a close personal friend of mine. Rudy is pretty much the guy that runs the prime time when Sean Oates isn't in town. Rudy's the man. Rudy, what happened this week?
Yeah. Phenomenal thing there, Dave. We finally got one nice qualifier fish, and just put out some baits and let it happen. It bit and got us a good one. One of the ones.
So there's a lot of people that don't know what just happened. They're just kind of standing here going, who is this guy on the show? And what is Dave talking about? Well, gang, first of all, we got to thank Promar.
Lost connection.
I can hear you. I hear you. I hear you good, Rudy. I hear you. But Rudy can't hear us. I don't know why. His Wi-Fi is not working down there in Mexico. We're going to bring Rudy back in just a minute, but I want to thank Promar for supporting our show on Mondays and Tuesdays. Thank you, everyone over at Promar. It's Promar Ahi USA Tuesday. We always talk about Promar products, and we're talking about Promar today. Can you hear us now?
Yeah, keep losing connection for some reason.
It's your side. So if it goes away, come back. But we're just thanking Promar for sponsoring the shows on Monday. Thank you, Promar. We'll throw a QR code up in a few minutes. But Rudy's like one of the most sought-after guys in Cabo right now. If you don't understand what just happened, everybody wants to take him to lunch, buy him breakfast, buy him a car, buy him a house. They just all want to hang out with Rudy right now because something super special just happened, gang. Rudy's been working on boats since he was big enough to stand at the rail with his dad on the old City of Seal Beach. He's been around forever, and he just got a taste of what it's like to win a multi-million-dollar tournament. Talk about it, Rudy. What happened?
Well, I mean, we're out there, went to go make bait, and we made bait in probably 5-10 minutes, and we're all out there. We ran out to one of our spots.
Okay. Rudy just jumped off of here for a minute because he probably got a phone call. He's trying to go live on his telephone. So you need to understand, Rudy just got this. Look at this. Gang, check this out. This is the check that was presented to Rudy and the team on Saturday at the banquet. The Bisbee's black and blue. Rudy caught a fish worth quite a bit of money. $1.1 million fish. They got a beautiful black marlin. Look at this right there. And this won the second most amount of money in the tournament. He also won the daily for the biggest fish caught that day. They got the daily jackpot. And look at just a beautiful black marlin, gang. In the Bisbee's tournament, the richest fishing tournament in the world. And there he is. He's back with us. Yay, welcome back. You got
I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi or the internet right now, but it's one of those things.
Elon Musk trying to help you out. So first of all, let everybody, most people haven't even caught a fish as big as what you use for bait. So when you say you're going out to catch bait, explain to everybody because there's a lot of people that don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we're using probably, I'd say like 3 to 5 pound skipjacks. We're trying to catch, if we can get yellowfin, we'll catch yellowfin as well. All from the range from 1 pound to 5 pounds, whatever we can get. And we put them in these tuna tubes, keep them alive all day long as much as possible. And we live bait them, slow troll them, and put a nice big hook on them and send them out there and just go about 1 to 2 knots and wish for luck. That's all it is, luck.
And you've been basically fishing this tournament for how long?
I've been fishing this tournament, the Bisbees, for about 7 years. I want to say 7 or 6 years.
On the yacht time, right?
Yeah. Yep. So we've been putting our time in. I mean, pre-fishing this year was phenomenal. We got a couple good ones pre-fishing, and then just throughout the years, just the team and stuff, we've all put in our hard work, and we wait for it, and it's, one of those things in lifetime chance that we got it. And it was a 6-hour fight, and it definitely whooped my butt. And I think it whooped everyone else on the crew and stuff. We were, there's a lot of language going on. People were getting mad and all kinds of stuff. And at the end of it, it happens because there's a lot of tension. You got a multi-million-dollar fish on the line, and a lot of things can go wrong. And when you're fighting it for 6 hours, that's what a lot of things are running through your mind, I should say.
So 6 hours, were you in the chair the whole 6 hours?
I was in the chair for, I'd say 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours. I think 4 hours in the chair. Wow. I took over at the ending. Yeah. When my boss and my boss brother fought it for an hour and a half or so. And then then I took over. I was like, they wanted it in, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna put the wood to it. And actually, I thought I was gonna get it in way faster, but it did not happen. Not at all. We know that stayed probably like 10 feet underneath, and we just kept seeing it, and the leader will come up, and I'm like, all right, put the wood to it, and it'll just get, make it mad, make it way more mad than it should, and does, big old runs, and you're just like, there goes 100 feet, there goes 200 feet, like, here we go again. So,
what type of marlin was it?
Is a black marlin.
Like, that's like the unicorn of all marlin, right? That's
exactly. That's the one you want. Yeah, that's the one you want. That's the one that usually holds the money right there. They're usually big ones, big females, even the big males. But you're looking for the big females out there that are, they're all breeding out here, and males are chasing them around. You'll catch a lot of males, and then once you get one of those big ones, that's usually a female, and ours, I think, is a female. So we're stoked on it. We were happy for sure.
Oh, absolutely. My goodness. We don't want to know all your secrets, because I don't want you to tell everybody, because I want you to repeat it next year. But
yeah,
just kind of explain to everybody real quick how intense it is trolling a bait around for, well, you guys pre-fish, so you guys basically troll baits around for how many days? How many days? At one knot?
One knot. We trolled about 3 weeks straight with one knot. It beats you up out there. You're out there in the sun and just in the heat, and there's one knot, there's no wind, there's nothing, and you're just baking away. And as you can tell, I got a nice sunburn, sunglass tan going on. I mean, that's what it is. Definitely days not catching nothing for 8 to 12-hour days or whatever, and you're waking up at 4:30 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, coming back at the dock around 6 at night. You're going to dinner. Then you go have a couple beers with everybody, and then it's, that's around 11 o'clock, you're going to bed, and you keep doing it for 3 weeks, and you're putting in, you're grinding. You got to put in that time.
And a lot of people don't understand what it is. It's an absolute grind, gang, what Rudy's talking about. Most people think they can do it until you've done it for like 3 or 4 hours, and it's one knot. You're driving at one knot. Most people, after 3 or 4 hours, in the world that Rudy and I live in, we deal with a lot of very, very rich, wealthy people that don't have a lot of patience. Let's be honest. They like everything to happen right now. And if you don't have something happen in the first 3 or 4 hours, they're like, hey, let's go troll some lures. You got to have the right, let's be honest, you got to have the right owner, right?
Yeah, you do. And I mean, I'm a lure kind of guy, I'll admit it. And they know I am. My owners know I am. But I mean, I'll stick out with anything. They want to go slow troll baits. They want to go fish the beach for, rooster fish on the tournament. I don't really care what we do. Let's go fishing, pretty much. Well, but yeah, my boss, my team and stuff, they love slow trolling. So that's good on them.
I've been trying to get you on the podcast for a long time, way before you won this thing. And I just want everybody to understand your lineage goes way back. If people could understand who you are, Rudy, talk about it just for a minute, how important it is to take kids fishing.
I mean, I grew up on sport boats. My dad owned a sport boat. That's what I came from, is sport boats, long range, doing all that stuff, and then transferred over to yachts. And I mean, learned a lot from my dad doing the marlin tournaments back home and stuff. So, that all adds up, all the time and years that we've, I fished with him, and he's taught me, and other people that taught me throughout my life, that, I mean, I'd take kids fishing, even take them, anywhere. Take them to Santa Ana River Lakes, let them go fish trout there, whatever. whatever it is, just got to get them out there, and, day by day, minute by minute, it all adds up. And it's a lot of it's memories, Dave, what it comes down to. I mean, I remember all of them pretty much, all the fishing stories, all that stuff. And kids these days, they're out video games and, watching TV, when I was out, fishing and doing all that fun stuff.
Yeah, you were. And I just went and saw you over in San Jose right before tournament time, gang. Rudy's like myself and most people that love to fish. If Rudy can piss a puddle, he's going to try to fish it. When I went and saw you a couple weeks ago in San Jose, where you both walked at, I'm like, where are you? You're down here. Where are you? They're over on the beach, fishing on the beach. Gang, if Rudy's into this fishing thing, like he said, whatever level he wants to fish, whatever. If he's got it down second, and being a part of a 90-foot Viking, there's not a lot of downtime, right?
No, not at all. I mean, you caught me right when I'm cleaning, doing laundry, washing the boat, washing the teak, getting ready. We have another tournament next week. I think in 5 days, the tuna tournament. So we have that tournament. So you go get all your stuff from blue and black marlin to now tuna fishing. So put all the big gear away, bring out some more gear, and just nonstop right now.
And those of you that are just joining us, look at this and try to describe to everybody what this was like getting this check. This is a pretty big event right here.
Yeah.
What was that like, getting to come up on stage and get 1.1 million, almost 1.2?
Yeah. It's a lot of emotions, you wait, your whole life, you're waiting for this. You hear about the Bisbees growing up, you hear about all this stuff, and you finally in it, and throughout the years and not catch nothing and seeing your buddies go up, and then it's finally your turn. I mean, there's a mix of emotions of going on. You want to cry, you want to laugh, you want to celebrate. Like, it's a bunch of emotions. And we went up there, and it's just, everyone. I mean, I saw my dad there, and he was cheering me on, and all my friends and all that stuff. So it's a good thing to see. It's meaningful, and that's one of the moments I always remember for sure.
Yeah, and there's not been. If you think back, this is the 44th year. There's only like 30 something guys that have ever got to get $1 million plus check. So it's a pretty big deal, gang. If you're not understanding what Rudy and I are talking about here, you can go back and look. Bisbees has a YouTube channel, a Facebook, Instagram. You can go and look at what all these other people that have ever had a chance to even get a little sniff of that check. And to get that check is a pretty spectacular thing, but it's not easy, like you said.
No.
Trolling baits for 3 weeks at 1 knot, gang. You can't even understand. That's slower than you walk. And you're standing on the back of a boat. If you're Rudy, if you're not Sean, and you're not up in the bridge with the air blowing on you, you're standing in that corner next to that bait rod, gang. You got to understand this. And it's about as hot as hell. On that back deck. You're standing on that back deck. Most people don't do it. They go inside. They all wait for Rudy to call them and tell them that we got a bite. Then they'll come out and wind it in. That's those of you that are in the industry understand what we're saying. But Rudy had to stand there for 3 weeks and watch the tip of that rod and wait for that.
Yeah.
And for 9 or at least 8 years, you've stood there and stared at that rod. That's an amazing accomplishment.
Just watching it. Yeah. Watching the skipjack and watching our baits and stuff, just sit there and watching it, make sure it's still alive and still kicking, and it's not sitting there doing, loops in the water or whatever it's doing. And you get a bite and you're excited, and then it turns out to be a shark. Like this year was when we were fishing the Little Biz or the East Cape, there's so many sharks. We caught probably like 400 sharks. It's like, you're looking at that, and then you finally get a bite, and you're like, oh, you're excited. This is the one. This is the one. Oh, a shark. Great. Like,
and then
it's a lot of things.
The California sea lions help you out too, right?
Oh, don't get me started on those things. Those things are out there, and they're eating like 10-pound skipjacks, and you're like, how I don't even know how they even get it, and they're eat them, and you're just like, great. There's another sea lion. So let's fight the seals. And let's fight the sharks, pretty much.
Yeah, just talk about this year. You got lucky. You said the bait fishing was pretty easy. You got it quick. But let's talk about years past. Gang, you take off from I'm just trying to lay out the scenario. You take off from the shotgun start. Everybody's doing 100 miles an hour, trying to get to where you catch your bait at, because the bait's an hour and 20-minute ride from where the shotgun start is to the bait. Everybody's going as fast as they can to get to the bait, and then you get there, and then you set up, and you basically have boats bouncing off your sides. Everybody's in this little spot, and the stress level just to catch your bait. And like Rudy said, you're catching tuna that are bigger than most of you have ever caught a fish in your life, and that's your bait. Now you got to put it in the tuna tubes. Go over that scenario real quick, and I know you got to haul ass, so I'm just.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, I mean, we're running there hour and a half or so, and that time right there, you're just thinking of all the things that we need to do. You know, you're getting your crew members together. We all have headsets. We're all talking out what's, you know, one person's chumming, one person's hooking fish, one person's grabbing the tuna and putting them in the tuna tube. So everyone has a job. Even the owners and everyone, the guests, they all have a job. So we all get everyone fired up on it, and we get there, and there's boats. I mean, you can probably, you know, underhand cast to a boat. Not even that. You can probably touch a boat. They're probably 8 feet away usually. And when I braille bait, I'm brailing bait like sport boat style. I'm going in there, all my sardines go in the water and the cockpits and all over people. And that's what I love. People are getting all pissed off and stuff, and I'm just in there laughing. And I mean, no matter what, have a good time about it. But once you catch those things, like we have quite a few tuna tubes on our boat that we have to fill up, and this year we filled them up, and I think the fastest was 5 minutes. And once you fill up your tuna tubes, we'll double them up and stuff and just haul butt to our spots and put the baits in right away. We want to be the first one in the water with the bait, you know, and sometimes you are, sometimes you aren't, and you try to make your bait as fast as possible.
Oh, absolutely. You don't understand, gang. When he's talking about you're making this bait, other boats are literally, you could just drop a bait and it'll land inside someone else's boat. You don't even have to cast. That's how close these guys are all fishing for a bait so they could catch that fish I have on the screen right there. That's a beautiful black marlin. We didn't even tell everybody. How big was it?
That one was 482. So it was a nice one for sure. I mean, personally, I thought it was gonna be way bigger. And on Bisbee's YouTube channel that they made a video of, even I said, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be way bigger. But I guess not. But it's okay. It's still won, and we still placed and still got up on stage. So I was stoked on that.
And explain real quick about how the jackpot thing works, because there were fish bigger than yours, but didn't win the money that you won. So people are like, they're confused. And I kind of tried to explain it to them when I was fishing with Cubby in the tournament, kind of how the whole money thing breaks down. But there are different levels of jackpot to get you to the $1 million, right? You just don't get in it for $5,000 and win $1 million.
No, not at all. So entrance fee is, I think it's like $5,000, and then now there's dailies, and there's from 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, all the way up to 10,000. And then there's the chupacabra, and I think that's 20 grand a day or something like that. Yeah. So if you're across the board and you catch the biggest fish of that day, there's a 3-day tournament. So say if you catch one fish each day or whatever, but you catch one fish and it weighs the biggest, you take all the dailies, you know, whatever it is, all of them if it's the biggest fish. But you can catch one smaller and another guy catches, you know, a bigger one than yours, and say he's only in the 100,000 or 100K and 2K or something like that jackpot, then he takes that, but we take the rest, you know, because we're across the board. So in all these tournaments, you want to go across the board. If you have a chance to go across it, you want to go across it because you want to get that money. You know, you want to get the $1 million check.
But to go across the board is a giant amount of money. Most of us can only imagine to make that much money in a year, let alone just spend it on a tournament. One tournament. It cost about 130 to 150 grand to get in across the board once you pay all your crew and the fuel and everything else, gang. It's a huge commitment. But when you get to the level where Rudy was fishing and a couple other boats, now you're only fishing against 8 or 10 boats too.
Yeah.
When you're at that Chupacabra level and the $10,000 level. And when we talk about it, gang, you have to be in every jackpot. You just can't go, I'm just going to do the 20,000. No, you got to get in all of them to get in, get the money.
Yeah. So,
And then the biggest fish in the tournament didn't win as much money as you did.
no, they won, I think, I want to say like 800,000 or something like that. And that was a 600 and something pound fish, but they weren't in across the board. But that was a local Cabo boat, and it's super special to, a lot of people.
Yeah.
And when we were there, that was the biggest party I've seen. We were up there eating dinner at a restaurant by the way station that day, and they had maybe 5 minutes, 8 minutes before their fish was going to get disqualified, and they brought it in, and there was probably all of Cabo at that way station. I mean, it was phenomenal. I mean, there was fights, there was people throwing beers, and just the party was phenomenal. I mean, that was the craziest thing that I've seen. I mean, a local Cabo boat to win the Bisbees is, all these guys, all these fishermen down here, that's what they do. That's their livelihood. This is the Super Bowl of Mexico, of Cabo. And, they're born and raised to do this stuff. And for a local boat to win first place in the Bisbees is something big.
Oh, absolutely. The town went nuts for the hometown
Yeah.
boys. They basically did it, when you think
Yeah.
about the amount of money that it cost them to get into it, they pulled off a hell of a feat. And getting in at
Yeah.
8 minutes before the scales were closed, that was
Yeah.
pretty spectacular because the day
And
before those guys didn't make it in time, and they
yeah,
had a fish.
they had a bigger fish. Yeah. And I mean, those guys that won, it's their boats, the crew though. And I give them all the respect because they fought it on stand up while we're fighting in a chair. And they took their fish at 8:15 a.m. and didn't get it in till 7 something at night. And that right there is, I bow down to them. They definitely earn a lot of respect from a lot of people. And if people don't understand, right, these guys know, fighting a bluefin on stand up or whatever, try a 600, 700 pound black marlin on stand up for those like 12 hours or whatever it was, like on a center console. So in the heat, center console, stand up, I bow down to him. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a hell of a story. This year, gang, there was 13 fish weighed in the Bisbees. In the 20 years I've been part of this thing, I don't ever remember that many fish being weighed in. I know a lot of years there was none, but I don't ever remember 13 fish being weighed. And there should have been 14, but one was disqualified because they missed it by 5 minutes. They got in 5 minutes late, gang. That's how intense this thing is. And they went as fast as they could, but these fish are gnarly. Like your fish, 6 hours on your guys' fish. The other fish, 13 hours they fought the fish for. These black marlin are mean. They don't want to die.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's definitely feeling. I mean, if you never fought a black marlin, you'll never feel the difference of anything else. I mean, all you feel is every single muscle they have, every tail beat. It's just crazy what it feels like.
And then all that there's a lot of people watching they do a lot of tree hugging and stuff on here, and they're all wondering, what do you do with that fish when they all get taken to the
orphanage.
Yeah, they go to the orphanage and they feed all the children down here in Mexico. Every part of that fish gets utilized, gang. You don't ever have to worry about that down here.
Yeah, all of it goes straight to the orphanage and all the locals and everything. Everyone get that fish, even the bones, everything gets put to good use. And it's one of the best. I mean, they raise so much money for the orphanage up down in Cabo. All the fish, all that stuff. And to this year was a breaking record for, I think they said like 5,500 pounds of fish that went to the orphanage and stuff. So people are going to be eating for a while, I think, for sure.
And it's just for the economy down here in Cabo, for all the people that live down here, there's no negative about this tournament. It's all about give back. It's all about love. It's all about partying, friendship. The economy loves the Bisbees.
Yeah.
It's an amazing tournament, gang. If you've never had an opportunity to be down here and see what's going on, it's pretty spectacular. Like Rudy was saying, when the local boys came into the dock, the whole town met them.
Yeah. Yeah, that was phenomenal seeing that. I mean, I literally of all of Cabo came to see them bring this fish in. And like I said, it's the Super Bowl of Mexico. So It's one of the biggest things. This is what Cabo waits for every year.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal, and everybody hopes and prays that someone will take them on their boat with them. And there's a bunch of guys. Another guy that got another big chunk of money, never fails, is our buddy Evan.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, right? Nine times on the podium.
Yeah. I don't know what he does. I don't know. He's a great friend of mine, and he is one lucky person. He's good at it. He's good at what he does.
And he had the seventh largest fish in the tournament, but he still won almost $1 million. That's how it works, gang.
Yeah.
It's all about how many jackpots you're willing to get into and how much money you're willing to spend. People always say, oh, it's about the biggest fish. Not in this tournament. This is a whole different animal, gang. You can win all the money and have the third, fourth, fifth biggest fish. It's because of how it's set up.
We got fourth place, but in all, we got the second biggest check. So that's your fish could weigh. It needs to be a minimum of 300 pounds to kill it for sure, and then you can get a 301 and still win a whole bunch of money if you're across the board. I mean, that's the thing. It's all about the dailies. That's what it comes down to.
And that's, if you read right there, day 2 jackpots. Real quick, I know you got a haul ass. I've had you on here longer than I told you, but explain to them what that means. You got day 2's jackpot. What does that mean?
On day 2, there's no fish that beat us in the overall on all the jackpots. So there's, I want to say 5 or 6 jackpots, and we took everything except the 100K and 2K, I want to say. So after all them, we got everything else, because there was one fish. I think there was one fish bigger than ours on the second day of fishing. So each day is pretty much each day is a new start of the tournament. You can win win up to, millions of dollars on each other day. So the grand total was $7 million or $8 million this year, and that gets split up in 3 days.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, he's on the primetime, Jeanette. You guys got to tour his old boat. He was part of the old boat, and then they bought this new Viking 2 years ago, and that's the boat that he was on that they won it this year. And you guys, what a beautiful boat. What a beautiful machine. Rudy, you keep that boat looking so bitch, and you're it, man. You are the guy. I couldn't even believe how excited I was to see what you finally were able to go up on the podium again. I was super excited, and I reached out right away, and I was like, can you come on and just give us a little bit of this? Because there's a lot of people that stand at the dock in San Diego and think about how cool it would be to have an opportunity to fish this tournament. And not only have you got to fish it for 7 or 8 years, but you got to win it this year.
Exactly. Yeah. So far this year for winning tournaments, we've been doing good. It's our second tournament we've won, and we just won the Loretto tournament. So, and then like I said, next week and 5 days or something like that, we have the tuna tournament, and hopefully we place in that one.
Absolutely.
Keep the winning streak going.
Yep, we'll keep our fingers crossed for you, Rudy. Look at,
exactly.
I'll show you guys one more picture. How rad was this when you guys, this is right, the first thing when it's getting weighed, gang. If you look, it's only the Bisbee crew. You got to stay away. You're not allowed to touch it or nothing. All you can do is cut the tape off of his bill to make sure his mouth opens and you didn't shove a couple of tuna in his mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
But you have to stay away when they weigh that fish. So you don't see Rudy in that picture. That's right now when Rudy gets to find out how much his fish or their fish weighed. Isn't that a spectacular? Man, the emotions are insane right there, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, probably when you're putting the first gaff into it, that's when your emotions are just insane. Once that thing hits the deck, you are just, your whole crew, everybody is just, they lose it. I mean, we're partying on the way in. I mean, we didn't care. We finally got one. That's all that mattered, that we finally got a qualifying fish. And the way in was just, I wanted to keep fishing. I was like, hey, let's put out some jigs and troll jigs on the way back to Cabo. And everyone outvoted me on my team and said, no, let's run in and weigh this sucker. And I'm like, all right, well. So we waited, and, I wanted to keep going. I was like, let's keep going, because we might catch a bigger one, or we might catch who knows? We might catch a big blue or something. So, but I think my team were just too stoked, and they just wanted to get the sucker in and weigh it and wait for the next day, because we still had one more day.
Yeah, well, that was pretty cool. And thank you so much for coming on the show today. Let those guys go buy you some lunch and buy you some beers and have a great
Oh
afternoon.
yeah.
Thank you for
Yep.
sharing this experience with all of my viewers. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Anytime. Anytime.
All right,
But all
buddy.
right.
Have
All
a
right.
great
See ya.
afternoon. Pretty
All right. You too.
spectacular, right, everybody? Isn't that
Oh yeah.
awesome? That is so spectacular. How bitchin' is that? And he spent a couple minutes explaining it all to you so you could kind of understand. Justin and Pablo, I thought you guys were coming on the show today. Hello, hello. I don't know where Justin and Pablo are, but I'm sure they're working somewhere, super busy. But today is Promar Ahi USA Tuesday, gang. We always talk about some Promar products on the show, and we got, what are we doing? Hello.
Hey, what's going
Pablo,
on?
all cleaned up. Look at you, all
cleaned up.
cleaned up, man.
Cleaned up my
Far
act today.
out. Nice. You're looking good, buddy. Hold on a second. I'm going to show everybody this ProMart stuff real quick. Gang, the GT4 fluorocarbon, there you see Justin Botrell on the cover there. If you don't have the GT4 fluorocarbon, you're probably missing a lot of bites. You want to make sure you're fishing with GT4 fluorocarbon from Promar Ahi USA. You could save 15% on the product right now if you use our QR code that I'm going to throw up on the screen here in a minute. But look at from the wind-on leaders that you see Justin catching bluefin and thresher sharks to just the straight fluorocarbon. Promar Ahi has you covered. Check them out. Go over, use the QR code. I'm throwing up on the screen right now. Get yourself a bundle of that stuff. Get some wind-on leaders. Get everything you need to be successful when you go out fishing on your private boat. Check out Promar Ahi USA. And if you're not watching this, put in the code YSWG and the number 22 when you're checking out at the Promar Ahi website, and you'll save 15% on your product. Thank you guys for watching that part of the show. And Pablo, what is going on?
Oh, not much, man. Just enjoying the day out here at Kate's parents' house. So did a little drive just to come visit. But yeah, it's been a good week, good weekend. The bugs are crawling. I think the biggest thing that happened was we were pretty stoked. Justin and I got the opportunity to go out with David and Jeanette on their boat in the harbor, and it was a slow crawl, definitely a slow crawl. We were talking to a lot of other people out there, a lot of other captains and everything, and Justin was at the helm with Jeanette, and he was able to find some really good spots, and I was working the deck with David, and David was pretty much just running the deck, and I was just helping him out here and there. And so basically Jeanette and David got the job done, and we had the pleasure of doing one-on-one with them. So I was one-on-one on the deck with David, and Justin was with Jeanette in the wheelhouse, and it went really well. It was a little slow crawl, but we got a couple, bigger ones for San Diego, a couple pounders, 2-3 pounders maybe, and they were nice. We got limits for one, and it was a late night slow crawl, so we called it after that, but it was a really, really good experience for everybody.
And there were some quality lobsters in that hoop net that I saw the pictures Jeanette sent me.
Yeah, they were like, we weren't getting any. We got a couple shorts, but they were just short by just like clickers. But we weren't getting volume, but it seemed like every hoop when we pulled it up would have one nice one. So that was pretty cool. It was either one nice one or nothing. But there wasn't a lot of shorts in the area. It was a cool area. And we had a blast.
That's good. Jeanette just said it was scary and super foggy, but you had Justin and Pablo with you, and you had your husband, David. There was no reason to be scared. We won't let anything bad ever happen to you, Jeanette. I promise you that. But yeah, that fog, for me personally, that fog is probably the only thing that gets me a little bit nervous, and not because of me and my ability to drive a boat in the fog or the way the radar works, or if I don't have radar, I kind of know where I'm at. But it's all the other booger eaters out there that are driving around like maniacs in the fog. not understanding you need to slow down. That stuff happens like that in the fog when it's pea soup. I understand what you're talking about, Jeanette. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and for everybody out there, the first time you do any kind of night ops on your boat, that's scary for anybody when they first start. Just getting out there and just kind of getting a feel for how different it is at night. And definitely, I wouldn't recommend going out in the fog for the first time. But yeah, just like anything we do, the more you do it, the more muscle memory develops, and you'll just be more and more comfortable each and every time moving forward. And like Captain Dave is saying, slow and steady. Just know your area. Just go nice and slow. Hopefully you have radar if that fog creeps in. Otherwise, it gets really scary for anybody. But know your area really well. Kind of go out and pre-plan it during the day, and just be like, okay, we're gonna go. Let's go get bait before it gets dark. Get to whatever area you're gonna work for your drop zone, and be familiar with it during the day. So then at nighttime, it's not such a big shock when you end up in that area, and you'll be really comfortable.
Right. And Brent, I understand what you're saying. I was talking to Rick, member of our website. He was telling the same story. When you go in the water, when you're diving in this fog, it's fog season, gang. October, November, and January are the worst times because the land is still very warm, but the water's getting very cold. So we have a lot of convection fog this time of year. And it gets kind of scary and especially I remember days diving and you come up and you can't find the boat and you don't know which way to go. It's kind of scary. So I can totally understand what you're saying, Brent, and I can totally understand what Rick's saying. That's kind of a scary deal. But being on the boat and being in that fog, it is a kind of a scary situation. I understand what you're saying. And now you guys are getting red tide in San Diego Bay. They're getting red tide up in Santa Monica Bay. If you guys ever look back to our website and look back to game plans and years past, this is the time of year. The water starts to cool down. And right now with the wind, Pablo, with the big wind we're having today and started yet last night to all day today and tomorrow, we're going to see a massive drop in the water temperature. I bet you when you come back out on the water on Wednesday, a lot of people are going to see that high 57, 58, 59 degree water. And that's what happens, Jeanette. We got the water turning over, getting cold real fast, and all that plankton dying. It causes the red tide. It's usually what happens this time of year. Now, we're going to have to try to fish around it. Now, Rick was saying on our website in the community area, Pablo, that red tide goes, he was diving in 25 feet of water, and the first 10 to 12 feet of the water was thick red tide. He got to the bottom, though, and it was all clear. So you never know what it's like. All we know is what it's like on the top, right?
That's right. And yeah, it's just starting to creep in. I heard there was some up in La Jolla. I think Jeanette pointed that out, that it's made it down to La Jolla, and it doesn't take long for it to creep into the harbors. And we had little maybe just a little tiny bit when we were out on Saturday, but it doesn't take long, and it'll fill in, and that could slow things down. But like you said, we don't know how far down it goes, and if it's clear at the bottom, well, that's good. That's good because they'll probably creep and crawl even more because they'll have a little bit of coverage from the light and everything. They like it when it's nice and dark, and they also like some areas where the light is established. I know Justin gives tips too, like go to where the lighted areas are when it's a super bright moon or when it's really bright and clear, because they're used to it, and they have to come out every night no matter what at some point to creep and crawl and get a little bit of substance for them. So, like we always say, the best night to go is the night that you get to go. We don't always get to pick and choose conditions, and we all know that the stormier, the better. We need some runoff. I hope this rain actually, for lobster fishing, we want it to rain. We want it to be ugly. We want it to be the horrible conditions in a way. And then when we go out fishing, offshore or island fishing or even rock fishing, we want it nice and calm and clean. So it's a little contradictory. I'm a little conflicted as to what I want right now, but I definitely want it to get dirty, to get some of those bigger bugs and coming out for us.
And then talk about, you just did a seminar on Saturday with Justin. Talk about ambush the season for a few minutes.
Oh man, ambush the season is in full effect, and for everybody that doesn't know about it, Promar is just requiring you to do basically a selfie or a photo of you with an ambush hoop net or any Promar product, but preferably with an ambush hoop net and at least one legal lobster in the photo with yourself, and then go to your Instagram and you hashtag Promar24, and that'll enter you into a $500 shopping spree at Promar for anything that Promar Ahi has to offer. Also, don't forget to hashtag your local tackle shop for a free entry. And of course, wear your saltwater guide gear, because that'll get you another $50 on top of that $500 to go shopping at Promar Ahi. This goes all the way to the end of the season from now. I believe they'll probably be pulling a winner here towards the end of this month. That'll be the first one, and then it's going to go all the way through the end of the season through March. So do it every single time. I encourage everybody that comes out on my boat to do it each and every time, and they have been doing it on their own Instagram, and it's as simple as that. Hashtag Promar24, ambush the season, and thank you so much to Promar Ahi for providing that for us, and your saltwater guide for the extra 50.
And then tell us, how was that seminar Saturday? Was there any people there?
Yeah, the seminar had a really good showing of our members. Saltwater guide members were there, and it was awesome, and we had a blast. Justin had his seminar there.
Hey, Justin.
Hola,
Hey,
keep going, Pablo. Hey, Pablo. Dave, how are you?
So,
keep going, Pablo.
So Justin did his deal. Like, hey, he likes to do this way, and there was a couple things, we do different. Everybody's gonna do it slightly different, but the bottom line, it was a really good seminar. I think we gave out a lot of. Bass Pro Shop was awesome for us. Rahi was there on site with us, and I think it went really well. The Bass Pro Shop actually raffled off a full hoop net setup, and one of our members, I believe Tim's wife won it, and they were super stoked. And they always go out of Mission Bay, so I hope they hit me up and we get out there together sometime. But that was really cool for Bass Pro Shop to do that, and then they want us back there because they really liked it. And Justin raffled off a open party trip on his boat, and I raffled off one on my boat, and it actually worked out. The guy that got mine is in San Diego, so he was stoked on that. And yeah, it was just good. It was good, great interacting with everybody. Being there side by side with Justin is always good, and just answering all the questions. I mean, the only dumb question is the one that you didn't ask, and these guys asked some really good questions on regulations, on setups, on how to, on bait and times and soak times, everything. I think a lot of the questions were covered and answered, and it was just a good for all of us.
No, I got to see some of it. Robert showed us. Is that Bob in your car, Justin? Bob? My buddy Bob right there. What are we doing? Are we going to the band?
No, four-wheeling.
Oh,
we're going
nice. Crazy.
Yeah, it was. How many deer we see so far? At least 10. At least 10. 10 deer? Nothing legal, but they're out there.
Nice.
I think I'm paused.
Nice.
Oh, there.
Yeah, you're breaking up really bad.
What, 2 bucks, but there's 2 small bucks. All the rest are does. We're going to head back out here in a minute. We went and got some Mexican food, so we're going to feel really good out in the forest.
Nice.
We're gonna get the bears to come. Yeah, oh, greasy. We just went to one of my other spots that I haven't been to in many years, and we couldn't get back there. Yeah, I just tore my car up trying to get back there.
Yeah, Justin, you're breaking up really bad. Hold on. Okay, Pablo, back to you, little buddy. So you got any trips available? You got anything coming up, Pablo? I'm going to show your QR code here in a second. There, Justin's back. Hold on. Now we can see you, Justin. You're breaking up bad, though.
Yeah, I'm in a bad area.
Yep, can't hear him. I'm sorry, Pablo. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, cool. We flow. We all know that we get in some really sketchy areas of service, so it is what it is. We do our best to just get on here when we can.
Oh, yeah. So there's your QR code. There's your phone number. There's a lot of people driving around in their cars that live in the San Diego area. They might want to go fishing with you. We'll throw Justin's information up in a minute. But Pablo, let them know you got some open party. Are you trying to put – I know it's kind of slow right now. I don't know why it's slow, but let's get some people on your boat.
Yeah, no, I'm like pretty much wide open right now. I have a couple I only have a few things on the books coming up, but yeah, I'm wide open. So the way I'm doing the open parties is kind of unique, I think. Instead of like making people go on this day or that day, what I'm doing is whoever wants to initiate it, whoever wants to say, hey, I want to go on an open party, I let them pick the date and time. Hopefully it's available. If not, I'll tell them what is available and they can choose. But the first one to spearhead the open party chooses the date, and then we work around that and I'll fill around it. I am going, I broke my own rule, but I'm going with 3 people, and I don't mind going with 3 people. It's easy to limit out that way too. So I will run with 3. And if you guys call me at 619-431-3070, I'd love to get you out on my boat, and I would love to come guide on your boat. And you can call me and we can work out a good deal. If you're a Saltwater Guide member, I'll hook you up. But yeah, I'd love to get a lot of trips on the books. November is filling up a little bit, which is because everybody wants those lobster for Thanksgiving. So remember, guys, that's right around the corner. Get them now and get loaded up for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, even for Halloween if you want to go this week. But yeah, I'm wide open, ready to take open parties. I'll go with 3, and it's $250 for anybody, and then I'm running a special right now, $200 per person for Saltwater Guide members. Call me at 619-431-3070. My boat's running very good. I got all the new hoops and everything from Promar. New hoops, new lights, new line. Everything is top of the line and ready to go. So just get a hold of me.
That is wonderful news that your boats are running and you're ready to go. I don't understand, gang, what you're all waiting for. The price of lobster right now is absolutely insane. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. We got sent this picture. That's the price of the lobsters right now at the fish market. If you want it cooked, if you don't want it cooked, it's a whole $10 less. But look at that, $64.99 a pound for lobsters. And it's not even as much. I mean, lobsters are fun to eat, but it's way more fun to catch the ones you're going to eat. It's a totally different animal. And my goodness, you can go with Pablo, Justin, Captain Al Clowers, any one of them. If you have your own boat, they'll get on your boat like they did with Dave and Jeanette, teach you how they rig, how they put it all together. It's like having your own private seminar on your boat and learning how to do it. So you can take Pablo with you. He's a licensed guide. We got asked this question a couple days ago. Dave, what's the difference between you guys and everyone else? Well, we're all licensed by California Fish and Wildlife. We all carry our guide license. And if you are a captain and you got your captain's license, that doesn't mean anything, gang. If you don't have a guide license and people are paying you to take them on their boat, you are doing it illegally. And you might think you're getting away with something, but I'll just let you know, you are going to get a ticket, and it sucks. And I know that better than anybody. I know it for a fact that the ticket sucks and it's not a good ticket and it's mind-numbing amount of money. And what's going to happen when they get on your boat? The first thing they're going to ask you is, who's the owner? And the owner will hold up his hand, and they're going to separate him from Pablo, or separate him from me, or separate him from anybody else. And they're going to ask him a simple question. They're going to ask him, hey, is that guy right there getting paid to drive your boat today? Boom. Ticket like you can't even believe. I know it doesn't make any sense. I know that. But as your saltwater guide, we created this problem 25 years ago with our social media presence, and the Fish and Wildlife used to ask me all the time, Captain Dave, do you have a guide license? Like, there's no such thing. Well, they invented it out of thin air for your saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen. And now anybody that drives a boat and gets paid to take people fish, not a sport boat, not a six-pack charter boat. We're talking totally different animals. But if you tell people you're going to come on their boat with them and teach them and you're going to get paid, you best have a guide license, right, Pablo?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, we're all licensed and bonded and insured. So yeah, you got to go with somebody that's reputable. It doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be Justin or Al, or Sonny, but we do prefer, obviously, that it is one of us. But just shop, you know, be a smart shopper. See where they pick you up or where they meet you. You know, check out their reputation, their credentials. You want to make sure somebody is on the up and up doing this for you, because you don't want to be in any position too of getting in trouble or fined. And you know, that's what, you know, with us is we are licensed, bonded, insured, and I believe that we do it better than anyone else anyway. So come out, you know, try us out, have us come out on your boat, or come check out our operation on our vessels. And you can see Justin's live all the time. I'm working out the bugs to get live on my boat. That should be coming up here pretty quick. And once that happens, you guys can watch us. I mean, we don't hide the ball. We share all the secrets. And if we come on your boat, I'm going to give you all the spots that you're going to get anyway with us as Saltwater Guide members. But more importantly, we're going to show you how we do it. And then you can take what you learn from us and apply it, or you can try a different method and see how that goes for you. Either way, it's a great experience. And I think Captain Dave was saying, if you know, nickel and dime, and you're like, oh, well, if I get 7 lobsters, how much is it going to be? Well, you know, they're all £1.5 pounds to be legal minimum. So right there, you're going to get your money's worth. But I've had people call me literally and say, oh, well, I could just go to the store and buy, you know, whatever, 7 smaller ones, and it's the same price. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. You could also go out for a nice dinner and throw a steak on there and some adult beverages or whatever you would like to do, and some dessert, and you're going to be about right there in the price range. But it's about the experience. It's about putting on the coveralls. It's about putting on the waterproof gear and dropping the hoops and then pulling them, and just whatever's in that hoop is going to be cool. It could be a shark, it could be stingrays. We've been getting a lot of eels, some cool bottom fish, and then of course, you know, octopus, Captain Dave's favorite. And then of course lobsters. When there's lobsters in there, man, it's so much fun just to pull them and just measure them, and then make sure they're nice and legal, put them in the bait tank, get them ready to go home. And man, that's where the thrill is. The thrill is coming out, pulling on those hoops. If you don't feel like pulling on hoops, we'll pull them for you. I always run with a deckhand, so you get involved as much as you want to. You can pack the bait with us, you can rebait with us, you can chop it up, you can, you know, do everything, anything you want to do, and you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But all in all, it's a great experience, and people come back over and over. I have a lot of return clients, a lot of mostly saltwater guide people. I love everybody coming out and learning. You just got to have the right attitude and be ready to pull some, you know, dress appropriately. If not, I have like 5 or 6 sets of coveralls that will keep you nice and dry. Just got to bring some good shoes and maybe a little waterproof poncho or jacket.
Yeah, and we got great discounts at AFTCO. You can get all that gear at AFTCO. We got great discounts all over the place with all of our sponsors. And Deckhand Sports, Dave, it was good to see you. When we were live for a few minutes, I got to see you and the boys walk in and sit down and listen to Pablo and Justin. Thanks for coming to the event. I'm sure everybody that was there really enjoyed you being there, answering questions about your product, and that was cool to see you and the boys there. And hopefully Justin and Pablo were entertaining. And this next time that we're going to do the Bass Pro Shop with everybody, I'm going to fly up, make a guest celebrity appearance, sit in the audience, and listen, see what you guys are really up to. Can you imagine?
We're gonna limit you on your questions.
Yeah, I'll get all polished up and ready to ask some questions. But gang, I need everybody that's watching right now, even though you're on Facebook, you're watching us, I need you all to go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and hit the notification button, because there's still, even though all the restrictions have been lifted over at Facebook, they're still not allowing the notifications to happen. They're still not allowing the stars to be given. And they're still kind of keeping us from being seen by a lot of people. But YouTube, absolutely, because of all of you, absolutely exploding right now. We have over 1 million views over there. In the last 2 days, we've had over 280,000 views. We've got just a little over 1,500 new subscribers on YouTube. And it's because of all of you listening to what I'm saying and going over there. And you hit the like button, you hit the subscribe button, and then you also hit the notification button. The notification button is super important. Mike Lewis, congratulations. I don't know if you saw, but I posted that picture of your beautiful yellowfin that you caught this morning.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys
I saw
haven't
that.
seen, what a beautiful fish, right, Pablo?
Oh, man, score. Mike Lewis got his nice ahi. That's good stuff, buddy. Good job, Mike.
At the end of October on a 2-day trip, that's pretty bitchin' fishing.
Yeah, they're down there. They're down a little. It's a little far to go. You know, I'd have to make it a 2-day for sure. I'd have to go stay in Ensenada and then go after them, and then probably stay on the way back and come home. So probably like a 3-day trip for me. But they're down there, and there's a lot of stuff down there. There's skipjack down there. There's volumes of the yellowfin. You just got to get way down there. So it's not out of the question. It's just a little out of range for a day trip for sure.
I talked to Mike Laus this morning. It's 160 miles one way. So,
right. Yeah.
So if you were to go with Pablo or Justin on their boats, it'd probably cost you like $8 or $9 grand per person. But we could definitely do it.
I don't know, man. If somebody wants to pay for fuel, I'd be down to go.
Nice. Mike Lewis, 85-pound yellowfin. How beautiful is that?
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Here? I'm going to try to throw the picture up while we're chit-chatting here. Yeah. You go ahead while I find the picture.
That's some good stuff, too. Nice. That's a great size for a yellowfin. And, man, that's some, that's beautiful fish. Good eats for sure.
And because of all of our great sponsors, when you see this picture I'm throwing up on the screen, you're going to see AFTCO's represented. It's a phenomenal picture. So keep talking while I pull this picture up.
Yeah, no, I was stoked when I saw that. I mean, when I first saw that picture, I was like, wait, what? Where is this? And then at first I got all excited, like, is it local? Because, Mike Lewis is one of our guys. And he's got to be down far south on the sport boat. But either way, man, that is just this time of year on a 2-day boat and get that quality fish. What more do you want? That's excellent. And those yellowfin, they never really showed up here in big volume. I mean, they were here and there. We got a few of them here and there, but same like with the Dorado, they just didn't show up in volume like they did last year. We were getting them here and there again, but man, if you can get down on a 2-day boat and get down there and score some, that's worth it. I mean, it's worth the drive down there too, and get out on a little boat, a little Pongero down there because they're still getting them. You know, this weather's going to probably slow things down for a minute, but I think once it passes, it'll be good to go down there again.
Oh, absolutely. There's no reason to not go. I'm just can't get this stupid picture loaded. What is wrong with me? Let's try it again. Hold on. Keep going. Never have these problems. Where's my elevator? Here we go.
Yep.
Here we go. We got it now. You guys are all going to get to see this here. Just a second. If you haven't seen it on our social media, check this fish out. This is an incredible, incredible fish, Mike. I don't know. You're not getting enough credit for it. I was very impressed when I saw it. Brought tears to my eyes. Mike was on a Real Warriors trip. Mike's a very close personal friend of mine, but also he is a vet. He is absolute war hero. There he is, gang. Look at that. Representing your saltwater guide. Check that out.
So
Got
awesome.
his AFTCO gear on, his red, white, and blue long sleeve shirt. He's definitely representing the United States of America. Definitely representing everything that's good about fishing. Look at that picture. How cool is that, Pablo?
That is, I love it, dude. I saw that and I liked it right away, and I was like, man, a little bit jealous. I'm not gonna lie. That looks like just a great time. Beautiful fish, great experience. He's got the right gear. Obviously, we know Mike. Mike's got the right attitude all the time. And man, I'm stoked that after all he went through too, with some of his little theft, not little theft, but big theft on his boat, brush that off and get a solid fish.
Absolutely. Couldn't happen to a better human being. And
Yeah.
Thank you again, Mike, for everything. And this was God giving you back, because you did take a huge loss at the beginning of the month here. And there you go. Everything happens for a reason. I don't know what the reason is, but what a beautiful fish. And thank you for your service. And thank you for being my friend. First and foremost, you're a very, very good friend of mine, very close personal friend. And I'm so stoked you got that fish, buddy. And I'm just being honest. It brought tears to my eyes. And I don't lie. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. That brought tears to my eyes when I saw you send that picture to me yesterday. I'm like, did you get one? And then you took it home in the Deckhand Sports bag. That was such a picture, too, Dave. You should see that. And we'll try to post that picture in the next couple of days on our social media. But yeah, he had to shove that sucker in the bag and then drive all the way back up to his house. And by the time he got up there, I got some great videos of him filleting the fish. So everything worked out good. Thank you, Pablo, for coming on the show today. Justin and Bob and the boys are up looking for Bambi right now up in the mountains. They're looking for Bambi. Justin will be posting the deer game plan here shortly. No fishing tonight. Matt Ryan and the boys were supposed to go fishing with Justin, but it's blowing about 100 right now in Long Beach. It's going to blow all night tonight and most of the day tomorrow, and then it's going to start to calm down on Wednesday. It'll be very interesting to see what the water temperature is going to be at tomorrow when you guys go, or on Wednesday when you guys get back out there. Give Pablo a call. Get out there fishing. Give Pablo, Al, or Justin a call and get out fishing with them, gang. I'm going to fly up to California. I'm jumping in my truck and driving to the airport right when I get off the show, gang. I'm going to Al's house to pick up a new camera for my computer. If you can see, it's all foggy. I've cleaned the lens too many times. It's all scratched up. So I'll have a brand new camera. Tomorrow's show will be at 12 o'clock with the new camera from Captain Al Clower's boat. And then I'm driving to the airport and flying back. I'm flying up just to get a camera and flying back. And then also I get to pick up some products for Kelly Girl, because that's what a good husband does.
That's right. Better keep her happy, Cap.
Absolutely. Happy wife, happy life. Gang, thank you all for joining us today. What an incredible story by Rudy. Most of us, I'm sorry, I fished that tournament for a very long time, never even got a sniff of a check. He got $1 million, almost $1.2 million. Look at that check. If you didn't see that at the beginning of the show, we had Rudy on the show. That's Rudy holding up the trophy on your right-hand side there. If you were holding the check, it'd be on your left-hand side. There he is, prime time, beautiful 90-foot Viking. got a big chunk, got the second biggest check in the tournament, even though it was the fourth biggest fish, but they were in all the jackpots. He explained it all to us today. Go back and watch this. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this video, please. I need everybody to help me. I need you to go to YouTube, share, like, subscribe. It's very simple. It's very free. It's very easy. Y'all watch YouTube anyway. Go over there and help support me over there on YouTube, because I really don't know what's going on over here on the Big F. I don't know. Instagram's flying. We're smoking hot over on Instagram. We're smoking hot on YouTube. We're smoking hot on X. Just kind of dragging in the mud over here on the Big F. But we'll keep doing what we're doing, and we won't change. I promise you that, gang. Thank you all very much. Pablo, thank you again. What a bitch of background. Is that your backyard?
No, this is my in-laws' backyard. So he has a couple really cool murals. This is one of them. I don't know if you guys can see it, but
Oh, we see it.
Yeah, he loves this thing, and then he's got another cool one. I'll show you really quick.
Yeah.
Real quick, right?
They let you back in the house because you got a haircut.
Their Idlewild house.
Nice.
So yeah,
wow.
little pool. Got the flamingos. But yeah, so he loves the murals. It's just memories for him of the beach. They lived at the beach, and then they had that Idlewild house, and so it's super cool. He has this guy come touch up the murals every year and add a little bit to it. So yeah, we're gonna add some more stuff to this one in the background.
All right, cool. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. See you all tomorrow.